everyone, this is Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I am using this sketch and I'm going to turn it into a double page layout by mirroring it on both sides. So I am using this collection from Carta that is super old. I've had it in my collection for a very long time. I actually picked it up, I think, at a scrapbook expo. It was one of those where you had to shuffle through tons of paper to find all of the collections that matched, because for some reason they didn't think to put the collections close together. But I was able to pick out actually like 4 or 5 different collections from them, and the paper was very cheap. So always a good thing, right? And this paper is super thick. I love how thick this paper is, and I wish that the scrapbook industry would realize that thick paper was a nice thing to have, but paper has really gone thinner and thinner through the years. So I decided to use the blue as my background, which is several of the pieces have the solid colors on each side. So there was like a solid blue and then a solid brown. So I cut this brown piece, which was not from the collection, I think I got it from Recollections from Michael's. And the first brown piece that I cut, I realized I cut it too thin, so I had to end up getting another piece out. And because I tried to make it work to see if I could just have the longer strip, it didn't work out. So but I think I end up using the brown on another layout. It was sitting on the side of my desk there, and was able to use it. So sometimes when you have those scraps, leave them on your desk for a little bit so that you can maybe use them up before you put them away in your scrap bin. At least that's what I try to do. But I also keep in mind that I don't like my table to get too out of hand, so I try not to let that happen, let them sit around very long. So these photos were taken over the summer, and we had taken the boys to the Science Museum, the Orlando Science Center, and we have annual passes to the Science Center, so we go down there quite a bit, and we're always looking for other fun adventures to go to while we're down there. It's about a 45-minute, maybe an hour drive to the Science Center from our home. So, when we go down there, we spend the day down there, and usually end up getting lunch or a snack or something like that. So for this day, because it was summer, we wanted to try and find like a true ice cream shop. When we take the boys to get ice cream, it's usually at like Dairy Queen or some other chain restaurant. But this was a mom and pop true like ice cream shop. They had tons and tons of different ice cream. All of the like toppings were in old-timey glass jars. It was just nostalgic. Everything about the place was awesome. And the best part, not necessarily for the kids, but the best part was that they had adult beverage milkshakes. So I had a salted caramel rum milkshake, and it was yummy. The boys just had like a 1 scoop ice cream, and then they were able to put like all kinds of different toppings in it for them. So it was a good afternoon that we were able to spend after we had gone to the Science Center. So I used this bicycle paper, and once I put the photos down, it's really difficult to tell what the paper is, but I liked that round shape that the wheels give from the bicycles. So it was it gave it just a little offset. And I really thought that the photos needed some lightness behind them because I had that brown paper as well as the blue, which is not that dark, but I wanted to have some lightness behind it. So for the pictures of Adam, I wanted to trim those up a little bit so that I could really focus on him, since Jackson was also in those photos. So I trimmed them up a little bit to allow it to have that real focus on them, and you can see Jackson in the background. So as you can see, now that I have both sides of the layout done, the bones of it, you can see that I really just mirror imaged the sketch on both sides. So this is where I pull out the cut apart sheet to cut apart some different things, and I'm going to add this one down at the bottom that says a tasty summer treat to go in place of the flowers and the little banner at the bottom of the sketch. And then I cut out this ice cream cone because I felt like there was way too much blue if I left it on the card, so that's why I fussy cut it out and add it right next to Jackson on top of his picture. And I used some fun foam on the back of it to give it a little dimension. And I love the way it looks right there, kind of on the photo, as well as with the blue background on the right side of it. I also used fun foam on the Tasty Summer card. And I am using old paper distress ink. It's one of my kind of go-to colors. It doesn't add a whole lot of color to the layout. It just gives it a little distress. So I am not one to usually worry about having pink on a layout for the boys. I don't tend to add I'm not going to do a whole layout about pink for the boys. But I felt like this, the pink that was in this paper, it's the Neapolitan ice cream is what I get from that. So, the chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. But just like I fussy cut out that ice cream, I felt like I needed to fussy cut out this card as well that has the sundae on it. And I added that to the right side of the layout with fun foam as well. And then at the bottom you have that ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream, which fits perfectly because the boys are always asking for ice cream. And I think it's a treat that everyone loves. I don't think there's very few people that don't like ice cream. Now, my boyfriend is lactose intolerant, and we have recently found non-dairy ice cream. So he would have been in that category of not really liking ice cream that much. But now that we have non-dairy ice cream, he's all gung-ho about it. So I'm just going to add a couple of different pieces from the sticker sheet. I added some popsicles and these little buttons. The center of those buttons, they were a pain to come out because they were so small. So now just looking for something else, and I end up adding this windmill. I feel like the windmill is such a summer icon, and so I felt like it fit perfectly in with this layout because we're in the summer and just windmills go with summer. And then I also added these 3 little stars and another popsicle on the right hand side. So as you can tell, it truly is a mirror image of each other. And I liked this square for the journaling, but I didn't like that it was like a word bubble, so I covered that up with the photo and the ice cream cone. And then I add this keeping it cool banner for the left hand side, or for on the right hand side of the layout as well. And as you can tell, there are some letters over there on the upper left hand side. I was trying to do a title that was using the word lickin', like lickin' summer or lickin' of fun, but it just wasn't working. So I ended up using this A Sweet Summer Day as my title, because it just, I tried several different things and it just didn't work. So I add the date. I tried to add the date in the old paper, but it was too light. So then I just used a brown distress ink and added the date to the left side of the title. And then I'm just adding here about how yummy the ice cream was and the fact that we were able to get adult beverages as well while we were there. So that is it for this layout. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. If you like this video, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, I would really appreciate it. If you want to see more double page layouts, because that's all I do on this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I hope everyone has a scrappy day.